Hello and welcome everybody to a live session out here with brand new fuel, TNR Fuels by Chris Nelson. We also have Mr. Stephen Best here, as well as Mr. Tyler Brown from JT Bearings. And it's kind of going through it here. We're sharing across all of the Facebook pages. Of course, Chris Nelson's personal Facebook page here. We have Mod's Facebook page and Twitch and Mod RC YouTube. So this is going to be going across the world. We want to have everybody share this feed. We want to get questions out here, and it's going to be a pretty cool product because I think it's going to really change the industry as everything's kind of changing within our industry right now, and have another US-based company, which is going to be awesome. So we'll have guys clicking on in here and sharing this feed. Make sure that you guys ask us questions. We already have 37 people on, so that's actually pretty decent. Of showing us through all that. You can see it right there, 40, 41. So we got people coming on through here. So kind of introduce us everything. This is Mr. Chris Nelson and TNR Fuels.
Test. We're good. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is Chris Nelson, co-founder of TNR Fuels here, baby. So thank you guys for joining us. This should be very interesting because this is my first Facebook Live. I think Tyler's too, maybe. But I think the guy to our right, actually the two guys to our right are kind of pros at it. So hopefully they'll help us through this. We'll see. So, but again, to my left, Tyler Brown. As you guys know, JT Bearings. So I'm kind of glad to have this guy sit next to me. And then to my right, the old legendary Steve Best over here. Really known writer for how many magazines?
3 different magazines I wrote for.
Awesome. And then to the right is my buddy, MOD himself, Mr. Matt Olson, baby.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you guys. So glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for joining us. I guess we're going to wait a little bit longer just to get a couple of peeps here. Let's get it going. Okay. Well,
going there, Chris. You got plenty of people popping on. We got Let's Go TNR. What's up, fellas? Question: Where's my shirt, Chris Nelson? Been almost 2 years. That's Rudy Rosales. We got What Up from Giovanni. Don't get nervous, guys. That's all Chris Nelson. He's like, what do I do with my hands right now? He's got the mic. So, Chris, this is kind of an all-new venture for you. You're coming out hot. Obviously, you have a better garage than anybody in the RC industry. We've all submitted to this that your garage is amazing. You can see how he realistically just even portrays his car. So he's going to do much the same, I believe, with his business, which is going to be first class all the way around. He's got some hot bodies rigs up here with his TNR logos on there. So, Chris, this is how did this come about with this entire fuel? I know all of maybe a couple months ago, people were kind of whispering in my ear, like, hey, there's a guy going to be doing a fuel right when Byron's ended up going out of business. I think it was at that same time that we were kind of getting kind of the glimmers of, hey, there's going to be somebody. And then people were like, well, don't tell anybody, but it's Chris Nelson. Is kind of what I got. And then we kind of talked about, you're like, dude, I've hired a chemist. I've done all sorts of different stuff. Like, I'm really going into this full bore, and kind of asking me a little questions of what's going on, dealing with that I've opened up Mod, and you obviously have 2 other people here that have been helping you kind of on the back end. Of another one that's been in the industry for many years, and somebody else that owns a company and is also heavily into it. And it looks like an awesome product that you have going, and I think it's going to be here soon enough. So what is the product? What does it benefit for people to get your product, and what are you trying to achieve, that other fuel companies do not have?
Okay, so first off, I guess this kind of sucks because you asked me a lot of questions, and and I always start off with I'm a husband/father first. So before I even do anything about the fuel, I gotta say I have to thank my family, my wife, my kids. So you guys want to come over here real quick? Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. If I didn't have them, I probably would do it. But I mean, without them, I wouldn't have my beautiful family and have my fuel. So I want to introduce you guys to Team Nelson, which is the first half of it. This is
Camille Nelson.
and then
Abigail Nelson.
and then
No,
okay.
Lorena.
So firsthand, guys, that's Team Nelson. That's my backbone. So yay. So whenever I can get out there, they're supporting me. So if you guys ever see me at Steel City or at Thunder Alley or Raceway, they're there cheering me on. So without them, it wouldn't be possible. So I want to thank God and my family foremost and for everything that's we're able to accomplish. So thank you guys so much. Okay, you guys go. So I guess back to the questions. I think he only asked me like one question. Where did it start?
So mainly, how is TNR Fuels different? Byron's went out. You have a couple of different fuel manufacturers out there. What makes you different? What makes your product different and the performance different than anything else out there?
Okay, so you guys got to know everything we do is opinion based. Okay, RC fuel. There's tons of fuels out there. Okay, in my opinion, there's no bad fuel. Okay, fuel burns in your RC car. It's just a matter of what you need it to do for your application. So obviously, we're all racers, and so we want the maximum performance. Just a second. Test. We good? Is that good? Okay. So obviously, when we're racers, we want the maximum performance for our engines, and obviously, we want protection as well, and that's really key when I was designing our fuel. So it's. I mean, back in the day, believe it or not, this really. I got my first wink of knowledge of Phil from back in one of the old NITRO challenges when we had the pleasure of pitting next to Mr. O'Donnell. So we got to hear Mr. O'Donnell and the Tebow family and I believe Barry Baker at the time. They were going back and forth on testing fuel and this, and you know, back in the day we were just like, damn, we just put it in our gas tank and go, you know. But these guys were at another level. And for us to hear what they were doing, I was so overly impressed how they worked it. And I guess over the years it just carried on. And then, you know, like Matt was saying, Byron's kind of, you know, I got a heads up a while before Byron's was going out of business. We actually know the people that Byron's bought their oil from. So when I heard about that, you know, I talked to the wife. I was like, man, hon, I think I could do something like this, man. I think this is something I could actually, you know, move forward with, you know. So a couple months later, believe it or not, Steve was probably one of the first guys I talked to about this. And I was just like, hey, man, this is something I'm thinking about doing, man. What do you think, you know? And I mean, literally, he was like, hey, you know, if it's something you really think you can do and you got, you know, an actual, you know, chemist and you got this, and you're not going to do something in your garage, man, hey, you know, have at it, man. I'd be happy to help you out and do this and that, you know. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome, man. So from day one, I can almost say not day one, but pretty much day one, he's, you know, you've had my back, and here we are now and in product, and I'm pleased with it. I'm super stoked. So I mean, I feel our fuel is it's a superior fuel. I you know, we didn't spare any expense. So I mean, as my friends know, when it comes to anything, I don't half-ass it. I don't. So I try to go full wood. So as in, you know, the nitromethane, the oils, the different grade oils, we kind of went over and beyond. So in reality, I should be charging an awful lot of money for this fuel, but in reality, I know that won't sell. So we got to try to be competitive as well. But at the same time, hey, I'm burning this fuel. I'm racing with you guys. There's no way in the road I'm going to put something out there that I can't race with, let alone have my buddies race with. So this feels really good, guys. And like I said, not to say other fuel isn't good. It's just for what I needed and for what I wanted. And like guys like, you know, a bearing guy that's saying, hey, you know, the fuel that you're going to do, how does it stand to like my bearings or this, and this, you know, and to have him test and, you know, come back with a happy smile on his face and stuff like that is just, it's gratifying. So I'm pretty happy where we're at.
Try that one. Make sure that
Can you guys hear me?
it'll update here in a second. As long as it's bumping over there. So, well, I'll hear it on here if so. So, anyways, Chris, obviously you've done a ton of work on the back end. Now you've had Mr. Stephen Bess over here doing some work on it. What's your experience with it, Stephen? And what do you think that how people will benefit from this fuel over something else out there?
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was really coincidental that Chris reached out to me right at the time that Byron's stopped making fuel, because that's what I've always run. So now I understand why that happened, because he had the inside track. I ran a little over a gallon of the fuel, and what I look for, like I'm a 40 plus class racer now for Nitro, so I'm not going to win any national A mains anytime soon. But what I look for is good performance. Is it going to run well? Is it going to be consistent? And also, is it going to treat the engines right? One of the things that from just in terms of my background, for anybody that doesn't know me, I was in the RC industry as a magazine editor for right at 10 years. I've been in RC for like 30 years, but head editor at RC Car Magazine at High Torque, and then also at Car Action. And one of my specialties, one of the things I just love the most, is nitro engines. So I did a bunch of nitro engine articles, tearing them down. I can't even count how many nitro engines I've had and torn down in my life. And I've also been lucky enough to get one of the EBIS oil bath break-in machines, and I've broken in a couple hundred engines on that. So I get to see what engines look like when they're new, when they're broken in, after they've been run. A lot of my friends, a lot of hot rod locals get me to rebuild their motors. So I get to see what they look like after they've been run on a bunch of different fuels. And then obviously I've got my own race program. And when I take engines apart, I look for the bearings. Obviously, is there corrosion? Is there a corrosion issue? What the piston and sleeve look like? Is there any scoring? Is it abnormally wearing quickly or stuff like that? And one of the things that I loved about Byron's that now I like even more about what Chris's fuel does is that when I'm finished racing and I take my engines apart, they just look immaculate on the inside. The bearings are lasting longer for me. The piston and sleeve lasts longer. And, we all know these nitro engines are not cheap. So most people, the average racer, I would say, a club racer might go through a couple of engines in a season, whereas for guys like us that are racing all the time, we're probably going to go through 5 times that just because we're racing so much. But people want their engines to last. So one of the things that I like the most about this fuel is that every single indication is that the motors are running happy, they're running super strong, tons of power, but they're lasting. The bearings, I wasn't going through bearings like I was before. I was using some other fuels. And I've been lucky enough to try every fuel on the market, especially when I was in the magazines. They used to send cases of fuel for us to try. And you'd find your favorite, but this is my current favorite. This is what I plan on running indefinitely, because my motors run happy on it, and they look like they're gonna always last a long time. And I think that that's super important. If you're spending $500 on an engine, you want it to last. So that's what I found.
Now, Stephen, and this is probably actually a question for Chris over here. Chris, I'm looking at the bottles here that we have, and there's a lot of different percentages on here. So what percent fuel are you going to be offering everybody out there?
So definitely we're going to have our 30%, which is our pretty much our race blend for, us racers. But also I'm most proud, I have to say, is my on-road blend, which is the 25%. So we're going to have a 30%, 25%, a 20%, which is pretty much you're ready to run for, your backyard bashers, having fun, doing your thing. And then we also have a 16%, which is for sedan on-roads. A really specific, pretty much specifically for sedan 10 scale. So, and don't get me wrong, it does run good in the stadium trucks as well. So the sedan 16% is a good fuel to run as well. So believe it or not, we're going to be at Proto Farm this weekend at Steel City running this stuff. So I'm looking forward to, running some more of our on-road fuel. So I think someone's ringing our door. Yeah, more pizzas here, guys. Yeah. So, but like I said, back to my on-road fuel, it's not, it's not just a on-road blend with, a little bit of castor added, I really took my time and spent a lot of time at the track. Unfortunately, I had to go out and buy an 8-scale sedan. an 8-scale on-road car. I had to buy a sedan. And, I just had to tell the wife, hey, this is what we got to do to make a superior fuel. I got to have more RC cars. What do you do, So yeah, so what do you know? We got a couple on-road cars back there now. And believe it or not, I actually have a motor that I wanted to show you guys too. As we speak, we're still testing. Don't get me wrong. Our fuel is great. I love it. We're at the point where we're at. and it's in one of those. It's in that cabinet, I believe, above. Yeah. So our fuel is good, but we're still continually testing. We're still gonna try to make it even better. You know, as good as it can get. So I have a motor that I ran the last Coco. Yeah, I wanted to open it. The last Pro race, I think that's how you call it. And I took the motor out, and I haven't touched it. I didn't put any after run oil in it. I didn't do anything to it. I left it completely open. And this is one of our tests. We're trying to see how our fuel stands up to non after run oil. So I'm gonna have Steve here break it apart for us. But so far, just peeking in it, you know, it's pretty impressive. And most of you guys know on the on-road scene, they treat their engines much more different than off-road. I mean, they are so pristine on how that fuel has to burn. You know, it has to have buildup. It can't have any scoring in it. You know, so it can't have any detonation. In off-road, we don't bother with any of that stuff at all, really at all. So anyway, I've had a couple guys, you know, Dave Blakely, Robbie, Brian Thomas. These guys, I've had them break down my motor after a run, and they're looking at the burn, and they're very impressed. And and not just that. I mean, don't get me wrong, tuning is such a major part of RC racing, but for me to be able to get 5 minutes in an on-road race is very, very impressive, and that's why I was overly stoked about that. So.
Lead us in here. We got Mr. JT Bearings himself over here. Lead us through kind of your experience with it and kind of what you're thinking of the fuel altogether.
Yeah, so I've been, first off, I want to thank Chris. I mean, I really want to be a part of this because it's real similar to how my business started, family business. And I'm already excited to be a part of it and have had really good experience with the fuel. I've already been running the fuel for a few gallons now, and one of the most important things for my engine package was the oil and what I needed for peak performance and protection. And the blend of oil that Chris has come up with has been as good, if not superior, to anything that I've ran in the base of engine that I run, which is Performa and Orion, and I've been super impressed with that. And it burns super, super clean, but I think one of the most important parts is it's protected while that's happening to an extent that that I've never really experienced in an oil package in a fuel like that. So really happy with it so far, and Chris can probably speak to more of the technical stuff than me, but I know the oil package has been great, and that was one of the main things I looked for, and happy to be aligned with the company that's so similar to kind of how I started, and I'm happy to be in a position where I can help now.
So real quick, so we pretty much took apart the motor right now. See, like I said, this motor hasn't had an ounce of after run oil put in it at all, and there is a little bit of oil left in there, and that race was about 6 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And I'm not saying never put after run oil in your motors. I would never say something like that at all. This is just us as a fuel company testing our oils to see how it stands to let's say you just put your RC car away and you just forgot about it, after running with our oil. Because I have taken engines apart and they were so gunked together, from, we forget, you put your RC car away and then, life happens and stuff happens and you just forget about it. Well, this kind of protection we're putting in our fuel is just amazing. So this is, we're overly happy about.
I was going to mention something just about like what I noticed when I take an engine apart. One of the things that I mentioned earlier was like corrosion. It's really easy to see corrosion around the outer race of the bearing. And Tyler, you might be able to explain this better than I can technically, but to me, that's normally where I would first see rust start to form, or at least like a brownish, kind of like dryness. And this motor is like a perfect example of one that it still looks wet on the inside, but not wet because there's alcohol in there creating corrosion, but because there's oil that's actually protecting all the internal moving parts. And that's what I've noticed about the motors that I tried, my own engines. Every time I broke them apart, that's what they look like. And there are some fuels that I've run that performed well on the track, but then they just ate up my engines, and they would look dry on the inside. The pistons and sleeves would wear out faster than normal. But mainly, if I didn't do after run that night, the day that I raced, almost the next day I would have corrosion on the bearings or on the crank.
So that's an important part of this. So when I hit up Tyler, or I talked to Tyler, there's not too many people out there that ask me a question right off the bat. Hey, do you got castor in your oil, in your fuel? I was like, whoa, hey, not too many people would ask a question like that. So, okay, this guy has a clue of what's going on in fuel. So I was like, hey, let me see if I can get you some fuel, buddy. Let's see if we can get some testing going, because you obviously have a clue. So if you guys were wondering why these two are standing next to me, this is exactly why, because they're not, I'm not going to call them engine pros, but dang it, they're right there. So, I even had them tuning on my motors for quite a bit, like, hey, get some more power out of mine. Let's see what our engines could do, And like, you're a good tuner, but there's always someone better. So, and I'm not a know-it-all. With my fuel, if you ever have a concern or you think something's up, please let me know, because all we could do is make it better. And that's what we're here for. We want our RC cars to run good and to have a good, a good feel. So, but Tyler with the bearings and understanding the mixture of oils, and then Steve having his own engine bath, is that how you call him? Engine bath break-in engine service. He really has a clue on what to look for and what not to look for. So these guys really help me out a lot. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of other RC friends out there that do similar things that are out of their range to help. But like I said, for these two to really step in and be there for me and, give me honest truth. I got so many good friends that show me love, but you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing. You see, I can't get love when it comes to spending this kind of money creating a fuel. I need straight, honest truth. So, he's going to give it to me really how it is, and Steve's not going to lie to me. So this is what I needed, was honest input, and we have data for days. So, these past, I want to say 8 months, I've probably bought, the Drakes know my credit card by heart, because I've bought so many motors from them. They're just like, okay, another 3, I've probably gone through 15, 20 motors, and I'm not just talking one motor. I've bought Novorossi. Every motor you could really run out there, I've ran with our fill, because I really wanted to test our fill with all these different types, because not everyone is fortunate to have Mrs. Drake motor in their car and have that kind of power. So I've tried to test every one.
So we already have people asking right now how they can order. How can they get this fuel? Are we doing this live and you don't even have product yet? So when can they expect a release date? What's the website that guys can find this at? And will you be going international with this? How are you going to deal with all the international shipping of fuels? Because people in Australia and Canada are already asking. So I know there's a lot of different stuff with because this is a chemical, obviously a flammable chemical, and how are you going to be dealing with that?
Definitely. So yes, we are definitely, our fill is literally in the process. We had to do test fill first, and now the production fill is literally on the way. So yes, we wanted to get this out in there and get it out in the open and introduce it to you guys. So when it is here, you guys are like, hey, what's this fill? What's going on? So definitely wanted to get it out there, introduce it to you guys. So, and it will be available at our website, but I'm an old school guy, guys. I love going into my hobby shops and buying fuel. So we pretty much have pre-orders with almost every hobby shop in SoCal already, which is great. So the amount of support, Garen at Rev, Andrew at Thunder Alley, Pegasus Hobbies, these guys, Aaron at Handle It Hobbies, these guys are taking, they've trusted in us, the knowledge of us, and saying, hey, yeah, we want this fill already. How soon can we get it? So I'm really urging you guys to get in your hobby shops and then to and purchase them there. Now we also have mobile hobby shops. What's Cody's shop? CTRC is a mobile hobby shop that will carry our fill. We're in the mix right now of having our fill available through JT Bearings as well. So we got a couple things in the works, and definitely internationally our fill will be available. So we're going to be hitting up most of the hobby shops out there, because we have had a big demand so far already for it. So Pretty much,
Check,
if
check,
there's a
check.
hobby shop
Check,
out
check,
there
check.
that you want to see our feeling, man, put it in the link, man. Drop us a DM, and we'd be happy to get to that hobby shop and see if they can carry it, man. Most definitely.
I'd say for local racers too, like I don't know how every hobby shop works, but if you guys want the fuel, ask your hobby shop owner to carry it. I mean, that's just one of the easiest things to do. I saw a question pop up. Somebody asked about engine temperatures. I don't know if we want to talk about the way that the fuel ran for me, but I was just going to touch on that really briefly. I was running Byron before. I had some left over, and I switched over to Chris's fuel for the testing. And I didn't notice like an enormous temperature change. And I want to qualify that by saying I don't tune to specific temperatures. I just tune until the engine runs right, which I would suggest everyone do. And if you're watching this, you probably know to already do that. But what I did notice was that there were a few different times where I was running a race, like during the day when it was really hot, especially this summer, and then at night it got really cold, and the tune would change a lot. And there were a few different races where I had really short warm-up. So I had to kind of guess on what the tune was going to be, and I always guessed on the lean side. And there were a couple races where I guessed too lean. So the thing that I noticed was that there were two different races where I overly leaned it. I told my pit guy to lean it out too much before the race. The engine didn't run well. That was my fault on the tune. But when I got home and took the engine apart, again, the engine was protected because of the oil package. I don't know what all the details are, but I do know that had I done that with some different fuels, I would have either probably locked up the piston and sleeve, or I would have worn it out, and I would have been able to tell that the engine lost compression because I ran it way too hot. So I was able to miss on my tune and still protect my engine because the oil package in it protected it, which I thought was super cool. And that's not something that you see all the time. I mean, you see guys all the time popping rods at races if they're overly leaning it. And I got away with it because thankfully I was running Chris's fuel. So I don't know if you have any stories like that, but that was me making a mistake.
I don't really have any stories like that, but there's no magic bullet when it comes to tuning. You have to learn how to tune a nitro engine or learn from someone that does. And it's an ongoing learning process, I would say. The engines are always changing. Fuels are always changing. There's always something changing. And when Chris approached me about the fuel, I asked him some stuff. And I was a little skeptical until I ran it. He kind of told me some of the specs. And once I ran it, I was impressed. What you're looking for is something consistent and that will protect your nitro engines. There's not a magic bullet. So if there can be a fuel out there that will protect the engines to a high level and still perform at that same level that we're used to or that we want, then that's really good. And I think Chris hit that nail on the head.
Check 1, 2.
The protection level is first and foremost to me, and then just a good consistent fuel that you can tune around that is what I think every racer wants and what we need.
So you guys, it was really funny. The first time I went out with JT here.
Check.
So I have to call him the pro level. Okay, so I can't consider myself a pro. I mean, it's so weird. Like my wife was like, "Aren't you supposed to be a pro to do all this kind of stuff?" I'm like, my pros are kid 1, 2, and 3 in marriage. I had to stop, get married, stop, have a kid, blah blah blah. But it was funny. The first time I went out with JT, he was like, "All right, let's go run this. Let's run this couple tanks. Let's do this." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So he's happy. I'm seeing him up there running. I'm like, yes, he likes it. Okay, he's running. He goes, hey, let's go to the pits. Hey, I want to put this motor in. I'm like, you want to run a whole nother motor? Yeah, let's put this motor in. I'm like, okay. And he's running. He's like, hey, I got another motor. I'm like, wow, this dude's, what's up with this? Like these cats really want to test. I didn't know I was going to give him a gallon, to keep on going. I didn't know if he knew, but yeah. So, and then same thing. First time I went out with Steve, he's running. He's like, okay, that's pretty good. I like it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep running, and guys, that's another thing. When you have people testing your fuel for you, you can't have someone that's going to be flipping over every second. So I was overly impressed. I can't believe I race with these guys sometimes because I'm like, how are you not crashing at one of the roughest tracks out here? And you're helping me get data right now because in order to get consistent data, you got to do what? Consistent laps. And these two guys were just killing it for me. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be running. I should just be wrenching and timping, and so yeah. So the first time I ran with Steve, we ran his buggy, kept running his buggy. Then we ran his truggy, kept running his truggy. And then he didn't know, but I was going to give him a gallon too. Hey, take it with you, so we didn't have to stay that time. So, but it was fun. It was fun. And like I said, not just these two. I got Robbie Serrato out at, the on-road track. Brian Jr.'s son's going to run some of that field. So, and of course, me, myself, I got ballsy with it. And I said, hey, I was so confident again with my on-road field. I decided to do the Co-Pro race, and I was able to podium with my field. So that was our first testimony of how good and consistent my field ran. I mean, my pit guy, David Blakely, was like, hey, man, you got something going here. This is good stuff. It's burning good. And so I was happy. I was really pleased.
So you also have, if you zoom out here to our camera guy, you also have an event coming up, correct?
Yes.
So there's all sorts of...
This is the good part, guys. And I see a lot of people still asking, how do we get it and when do we get it? So if you guys, you can go to our website, TNR Fuels, or www.tnrfuels.com. And you can go to our website and you can actually drop your email, and we'll let you know exactly when it's dropping and where you're at, and we can get it out to you. Because TNR Fuels team, we're going to be traveling the United States, and we're going to be hitting up so many tracks. And like I said, if there's a track out there or a hobby shop that you like to see our fill in, please drop us a DM or a message, and we'd be happy to get it out there to you. So, I mean, my buddy Nick Hartman out in North Carolina. We can't wait to get out there to get on his track, and then they're already wanting pallets out there. So we're going to be going all around, guys. So, and we're working on pricing. So I know that's the main question. I mean, these guys are concerned about how good it runs, but the majority of people out there are just, how much is it? How much? I don't care how it runs. How much is it? It looks cool, So, again, my whole goal is to kit it into the hobby shops first. I mean, I race with you guys. I'm not going to stop racing. So, and if we're at a track and they sell my field, I'm not going to sell it because I want to support our hobby shops. So, like I said, up here at SoCal Raceway, where our race is going to be at, Brent's got his shop coming up there, and our field's going to be available up there pretty soon. So, almost every hobby shop pretty much is going to have it. So, just look forward to that. So, but yes, about our race, guys, this is crazy. I've been called dumb. I've been called, why are you doing this? I've been called everything in the book to say, what in the hell is wrong with you doing this? TNR Fuels, I don't know if this is going to be an annual thing, because this was probably the hardest thing I've ever did, was try to schedule a race in Southern California. Because obviously we have tracks all over and everybody's racing. And now that the whole COVID thing's over, we're racing. We're getting out there racing. So, yeah, guys, if you haven't noticed, this little Yamaha 50, this is a raffle that we're giving away at our race. How crazy is that, people? Something different, man. Something different. We're trying to change it up a little bit, guys. This race is going to be totally different than what we've done in the past, okay? So this is going to be, obviously, guys, when we do this race, there's going to be a lot of camera footage there. We're going to have MOD filming the race. That Pee-wee or the Honda, I keep saying Honda 50, but the Yamaha 50, that's going to be a raffle for every entry or every paid entry. So if you do 3 classes, you get 3 tickets. So everybody who signs up for our race has a chance to win that dirt bike. Next up, guys, we have, as you can see, these 3 lovely, beautiful brake motors we got for sale, or I wish we had them for sale. We got, I could make a little money on them because they're out of stock right now. But we got 3 Rhonda Drake edition motors, and then we got our 9 Adam Drake edition motors, and these are the combos. So we're giving those away, guys. What they're going for is, this is why our race is called the A Main Challenge. You make that A Main in Sportsman Buggy, Truggy, Expert. That's not an open class. I call it Expert. Okay, I changed that up. Sorry, guys, but it's Expert, Buggy, Truggy, and then the 40 pluses. Okay, any of these guys get into the A Main, you have a chance to win all these or the motors. So the top 3 will win the Rhonda Drake edition, and then 4th through 12 will win the Adam Drake combo editions. So that's going to be pretty cool. So it's pretty much a raffle. So it's going to be, we're going to put the month you make the AMA, we're going to put that card inside of our one of our fuel tanks, but a bigger one. And we're going to pull it out, and whoever wins, that A main wins all those motors. So you're not going to know until the end of the A mains. So it's super cool. Okay. Now for the big one, guys, we're giving away a lot of cash. I mean, straight up cash, guys. This is crazy. All right. So the same thing goes. Now the pro class is in this. So, okay, obviously the pros don't need these motors because they're pretty much all sponsored by a motor company. So, but the pros can always use money. So from Pro A main, the Buggy or Truggy, Open, 40 Plus, and Sportsman, we're going to do the exact same thing. First place, second place, and third place. First place is going to win $3,000. Second place is going to win $2,000. And third place is going to win $1,000. And then entries places 4th through 12 is going to win $65. So either one of those A mains has the chance to win that money. Again, you guys are going to know until we draw that raffle out. And then it's going to be pretty much draw, luck of the draw. So it's going to be pretty cool. So we're excited about that. We're going to start something new here too. We got a new class. We're testing the waters here. I got a lot of old school friends that still race, but don't race anymore because they got to race against guys like us 40 plus fast guys, and they're older though, guys like my dad, so it sucks to see those guys not racing anymore because they got to race against competition. And I know everyone says all these classes is dumb and all the classes is this, but I'm still a guy that still likes to have fun racing. And at the same time, that's where it all started. And most of these old guys got their kids into racing, and now their kids are super fast, and dads are just left in the background. So our new class is 52 plus. It says 55 on the flyer, but it's 52 plus. Sorry about that, guys. 52 plus. All right. So that class is pretty much you're 52, and you're not you don't have that 40 plus speed anymore. So, it's cool. Top prizes for that though. First place is $500. Second place is $250, and third place is $100. And if you guys can shine on the canes here, they're not wrapped, but yep. What do you know? We got 3 canes for those top 3 guys, cause they're going to need help getting off that podium. So, yeah. And it's going to be wrapped in TNR Fuels, so you'll never forget it. So yeah, man, we got to do it right, guys. We got to do it right. So it's going to be a fun race, guys. Every paid entry gets a plate of food as well. So when you're paid entry, that ticket is good for your drawing for the dirt bike as well as a plate of food. So you get to use that on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's up to you. So, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be fun. And then, the juniors. And we have one more class, which is the juniors. And our juniors is 14 and under because there's some 15-year-olds out there that will blow the brakes off of all 3 of us. You know what I mean? Like literally. So that 1 year, it makes a difference. So the juniors is 14 and under. So we're going to have a juniors class, and it'd be cool to see you guys out there. So, as you guys know, I'm a dirt bike guy. I love dirt bikes. I love riding. So, and again, this race is going to be for our video. So our TNR Fuels video, we're going to have later on down the road. We're going to get a lot of footage from this race onto that video. So to all my dirt bike guys, it at the track, man. We're going to have a shot. We're going to have one prize for the sickest dirt bike out there. Okay. It's going to be the coolest thing. So yes, I'm bringing my dirt bike. I don't know if you want to shine it on there, Matt. Probably not. It's too cool. Okay, I get it. But yeah, I can't win. But yeah, I'm gonna bring my bike. It'll be out there. Big shout out to Timmy out there for selling me that bad boy. I love it to death. It's the coolest thing in the world. I'm not allowed to have a street bike anymore, but I can ride a dirt bike still. Yep. So guys, if you bring your dirt bike, you get $20 off your first entry. Okay, so $20 off your entry just for bringing your bike, and unfortunately, we can't start them up though, guys. So it's literally going to be just a show and shine for our dirt bikes. All right. So when you come bring your dirt bike, you got to have a plug in the muffler. That's the only way you can bring your bike in. Okay. So that'll be cool. So if you guys have questions, please hit me up. We're going to be taking pre-registrations on our website. Again, go to our website, tnrfuels.com, and we'll get you guys signed up. So the race is going to be at SoCal Raceway up here in the high desert, Victorville, California. Big shout out to Brent Ashton and Brian Sullivan for giving us this facility. letting me have my containers there and to do all the filming we're gonna be doing. So a lot of aerial shots, a lot of Matt and crew walking around helping us do everything. So it's gonna be a fun race. So last thing before I start, making you guys fall asleep. So this has been a big debate for us. All right. So us 40 plus guys. All right. So we're trying to debate on whether just us. Yeah. Not this young cat, not this young guy. So we're trying to decide on if you can run the same chassis in multiple classes. All right. So you got guys like me that, I can afford to run 40 plus in open on the same day. All right. And then you got a guy like let's say David Carrizo Jr. The kid as fast as can be. But on these days when I want to have more track time, I'm going to sign up for 2 classes. Now I got the edge on this kid, So are we going to have I know, but that extra race helps. See, that's the thing. If we're heads up, I think that kid's got me hands down. You know what I mean? These guys are fast, but I got that edge with having 2 classes now. So if I run 40 plus truggy, 40 plus buggy, open truggy, open buggy, that's a tough one, But then someone like Cody Thompson was like, well, yeah, Chris, I want you to run 40 plus because by the time you get to open, your car is going to be so slapped out, I'm going to run right over you. I'm like, he's right, So I don't know. I'm going to leave that up for debate for you guys, man. I want you guys to PM me, man. Let me know. What do you guys think? Should we have only one car for chassis so you can't do, pro, buggy, and 40 plus? You can't do 40 plus and open. You can't do sportsman and old man class, I don't know. What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I would rather be 20 and run 1 class than be 40 and run 2 or 4 classes. So I don't know about everybody else, but I mean, I don't know how much of an advantage that would give me personally. But yeah, I know what you're saying for track time. Yeah. I was going to mention too, I mean, how fun does this race sound? One of the reasons that I wanted to be a part of whatever Chris was doing is because Chris always has a good time. And I think one of the things that I would like, Chris, for you to at least tell some other people, because you've told me the story, but just about what the brand means to you and what some of the story is behind the fuel. Because when Chris told me he was making fuel, I said right away, of course I'm going to help out just because it's Chris. And I bet everybody that's watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's just a great guy. But then on top of that, we have a great product that we're making. But there's a really cool story, that goes behind the fuel. And I think that just kind of enriches the brand itself and why people would want to be a part of it.
So it's a tough one, guys. I lost my brother last year, man, and real tough. He was my biggest fan, man. He was he was the guy on the block. I mean, Felix Jones, you could back us up on this. When Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I'm showing my age now. Now you can tell I'm in the 40 plus class, but Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Zelda, and all these games around on Nintendo. My brother was the best. I mean, back in the day, we only had an A and a B button. Nowadays, these kids have A through Z buttons and fingers grow out of their hands and they're doing all this stuff with their hands. And I don't know how they do that. It's amazing. But anyway, my brother was a master at that stuff, man. But believe it or not, when it came to RC cars, he thought I was the fastest guy out there, man. He was literally him and my dad were my biggest fans. And it just meant the world to me. So fortunately, he's not here to see us where we're at right now. And so my brother's name was Anthony. If you guys see that ant on that fuel bottle, that's my brother, man. So that's what it means to me. And just whether or not, someone agrees or disagrees with it, we're a small family business. And, that's part of my family on there. So it means the world to me that he's with me in every moment. So it's just, it's exciting. Like I said, he's not here with me now, but he's here with me in spirit, man. So it's our blend. So I'm excited to have it. So, but I'm more excited to do this race. I'll tell you that. And I'm a paid entry, so I'm coming for it. Like Rhonda, you guys better watch out, girl. I mean, I'm coming for you. I'm not, So yeah, I'm paying and I'm trying to win.
So obviously, Chris, you're going to have all this fuel by the time we hit that event in January there. And I don't know if I caught it, but what is the release date of when people can start putting in their orders, or can they even pre-order online right now?
Yes, definitely. We can take pre-orders right now. Now, unfortunately, with logistics and COVID and weather, That's what we're working against right now. So that's why I'm not giving an exact date. So, I mean, literally when we have it, oh my God, I'm just going to be pouring it everywhere. I can't wait to get it. So as soon as it's here in California, we're going to be distributing it out and sending it back east. I think Walter, New York wants some, and we're going to be going all around. So as soon as it's out, you guys will know.
Can guys get pre-entries into the race right now? Are you going to have anything on RC sign-up or on your current page to take RSVP?
Yes. If you guys go to our website, you can do pre-signups as we speak right now. Definitely.
Awesome. So what is it per entry, and is there a discount per the next class, or is it just one solid, X amount of dollars, then another X amount?
Good question. Yes, it's $65 per entry. Okay, I know normally we do races and it's $100 and then it's $20 the next entry, or et cetera, et cetera. But we're giving away. I mean, literally, when we say we're giving away a lot, I mean we got 12 Drake motors up here. We got a Honda. I mean, God, I keep saying Honda 50. I'm a Honda 50 guy, so I'm sorry, but we got a Yamaha 50, and we're giving away fuel. We're giving away money. We're giving away canes for these old guys. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, So we're giving away a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's $65 per entry. So if you think about it, that's what. $40, $20 per day at the track. I think he broke it down for me like that. So, we missed a couple of cool things. So, my boy BT, Brian Thomas, from Mugen, man, he threw out some cool ideas for us, and I'm so stoked to try this out. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a Super Pole round. All right, this is only for the pro class, and I know we watch off road, dirt bike guys, but me not growing up, but me in the RC industry. I have favorite RC drivers. So I love watching, the Drake, Cavallari, the Mayfields, even the new up and coming racers that are fast, Rivkin, Finn, these guys, it's exciting. I mean, I'm sure it's not just me, but it's exciting to watch these guys, or this guy, he's with them. You know what I mean? He's right there with them. I mean, to watch these guys battle it out is the sickest thing. So obviously there's only 10 spots that are going to make the A-main. We have to do it because of social distancing. So even though the driver stand at SoCal Raceway is huge, we can only have a certain amount of people on the driver stand. So it's only going to be 10 people main, or 10 people drivers, and then 2 bumps. But in the pro class, we're going to have a Super Pole, which is the coolest thing in the world. We're going to take, after the pro B main, the 2 drivers that bump up, they bump to the A main, but then you're going to have the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place drivers in the B main. They're going to have a rocket round to where they're going to see who could do the one fastest lap. It's going to be the coolest thing. So they get, I think it's 3 minutes or 4 minutes. They get a 3-minute warm up and then another 4 minutes to try to hit the fastest lap. So we're taking one guy. So whoever hits the fastest lap gets to the A main. So that'll be the only A main with 13 drivers in it. So that's going to be cool. So we had that out at Steel City, and I thought it was the coolest thing. I mean, everyone comes up and watches the main, but everybody was out of their seat to watch these guys battle it out for that one lap, And it was like I said, I think Brian Thomas had the fastest or something like that. It was the coolest thing. So so that's going to be cool. So we're going to do that. I've never seen it at off-road race. And again, we're trying to do, it's my race, so I want to try something different. So yeah, yeah, it's mine, So it's going to be fun. So I don't know.
Who is, people are asking, who's going to do the layout out there?
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Anthony Westergaard. My bad, buddy. We got factory tracks. So okay, 2 things. We got factory tracks, which is Anthony Westergaard. He is a moto king. Okay, you guys know he's been all around the road, building tracks. So when we asked him to build the track, he hopped right on. He was like, heck yeah, dude, we'll get this going. But I go, look, there's a lot of money at stake here. We need this track to be hard, not, a normal track. He goes, oh, hard? Oh, let's do this now. I finally got the A-OK. So we're stoked to have factory tracks to do in our race. And then we got Daniel Adams doing our announcing. So this is a quick story. This is super cool. Daniel Adams, believe it or not, my very first race I ever did, the first time I heard it boop go, it was with my Adam Drake 2 10 scale truck. That was my first time I ever did a race. And I sucked so bad when he went boop. I went from a T-Max to that 10 scale Losi truck. So I went from an all-wheel drive to a 2-wheel drive. So when he went boop, I was so nervous and so excited, I gave it full gas. Well, we all know you can't do that in a 10 scale truck. So I was spinning around on the straightaway, couldn't get my car to go straight. By the time I figured out you can give it a little bit of gas, I was already getting lapped. First lap. So anyway, so Daniel Adams called my first race, and it's so cool that he's going to call our first race. So I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So a big shout out to Daniel Adams. He gets the program running and up and going, so I can't thank him enough for that. So that's going to be cool. Super cool. So hopefully he gets that program going. Oh, last thing. I keep saying last thing, but this is what we're doing too. So we're going to have 4 rounds of qualifying, all right? So Friday, we're going to have practice. You're going to have your tickets to where, you get your track time, so it's scheduled or it's scheduled practice. And then you're going to have we're going to have 2 rounds on Friday, okay? Now, we're having the best 2 rounds that you can have. So 2 rounds on Friday. One's going to be an IFMAR start. The other one's going to be heads up start. And then on Saturday, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to have an IFMAR start and a heads up start. So that's us hardworking people out there that can't get off work on Friday. It's no big deal because you're going to have the exact same practice and the exact same qualifying on Saturday. So you can have, we're only taking the best 2 rounds. So if you can't make Friday, you got all Saturday to do it. So that's going to be pretty cool. We're trying to keep the level field equal there. So yeah, so something different. So.
Also, we'll have the Mod Live media stuff going.
Did I forget Mod?
You're
What? Did I
forgetting,
forget
man.
Mod? What?
Forgetting.
Nah. No love.
No love,
for the
man. I
dude
come
that's
out
standing right in
here,
front of us? No? Come
Drive
on.
an hour and a half. There's no love. You forget about me. Remember everybody else. I see how it is. I see the love, Chris.
We got the best film crew here in my garage right now. And I'm blessed to have this dude as my friend. These guys they work so hard, guys. You have to, like, if you see these Fiscals back here, half of them are Brian Sullivan's work. Half of them are MOD's work. I mean, literally, these guys break it down. And I mean, from filming to working on guys' rigs to racing. I mean, I can't even express how good and how hard these guys work. So all you featured track owners out there, race holders, you guys get MOD out there filming it, man. It's a good thing. It's always a good thing. We always want the sport to grow, and these are the guys that do it. Media coverage is how it goes down. So that's definitely it. But I can't wait to have these guys filming our race. And again, they're going to be going to your pits. They're going to be interviewing you. They're going to have shots of your bike. We're going to ask that you guys, like I said, if you bring your dirt bike, you get $20 off your entry. And we're going to be taking pictures of you guys with your bikes, etc. So it's going to be a good time.
Awesome. So kind of, go through the whole gambit here of your fuels, where they can find it, where they can sign up for the race, and we'll pretty much take some final questions. I think we'll pretty much be done.
It's been going.
Round us out here.
Good. All right, guys. Yeah. www.tnrfuels.com. It's gonna be available in about the next week or 2 here. So we'll keep you guys posted. But you can definitely go there. But again, we've already got pre-orders at Handle It Hobbies, Aaron Heridas in Rancho Cucamonga. We got Revelation Raceway in Montclair, I think it is. Pegasus Hobbies in Montclair or Ontario. I'm not sure which one it is. What other place? Again, we're in the mix with talking with JT Bearings to have them supplying it as well. Brent Ashton up here at Raceway, they got their container they're going to start selling. Andrew at Thunder Alley, he's going to have quite a bit of stock of it over there. That's going to be great. One of the main ones, Steel City. I'm messing out. Phil at Steel City in Fontana, which we will be at for the Protoform race this weekend. So as soon as you guys leave, I'm out of here too. So we're gonna be over there. Okay, not today, babe. Sorry, but but we're gonna be up there at Steel City. We're gonna have our 25% and our 16% up there for sale. So, and then like I said, if there's a hobby shop you guys want to have our stuff in, drop us a DM and we'll be happy to get it out to you. And if you guys want to try some of the fill, we got some 32 ounces for you guys to, give it a shot, see what you think of it, So we'll let the fill speak for itself, guys, because I wouldn't put something out there that I wouldn't trust. So I think we're good to go. Anything?
I'll be running the fuel this weekend at Thunder Alley for any locals that want to come out. I don't know if Chris wants to send any samples out with me or anything like that. But they're having, I believe it's called the Easy Money Race. So I'll be out there. I'll be running the fuel. And then if I can bring some samples or anything Chris wants me to bring, I'll have that there as well. And you guys can check it out for yourself.
Steve, anything?
Yeah. Well, I'm like everybody else. I'm waiting on fuel because I think I've burned through the pre-production test gallons. So as soon as I have some, same deal goes. I race regularly at Hot Rods up in Saugus or Santa Clarita. And I know that there's a whole lot of hot rod locals that have been asking about the fuel. So I don't want to pre-promise where it's going to be available or not, but I know for sure that I'm going to be running it, and anybody that wants to try it be more than welcome to give it a shot.
Oh, God, Jimmy Babcock, I'm sorry. Jimmy is my buddy. I've known this guy for so many years, and off the bat, this guy was like, hey, man, this minute your fuel is out, I want the first batch. I want the first pallet. I want the first gallon, So, yeah, oh, God. I wanted to say Jimmy for last because, you can say the best, So, definitely Hot Rods Hobbies will have a ton of our fill in stock there when it's released. So, and then, of course, like I said, Steve Best is a local out there. Chevelle, Scales, John Hall, these guys that, always trying to battle with this guy, and now they're in the nitro scene. These guys are all wanting to get that fill out there at Hot Rods, so I can't wait to get it out there. Oh, nice. So, yeah, this is going to be a good time. So, I hope I'm not missing any other tracks. I hope not. But, yeah, I think we're good to go.
So, alrighty, guys, we'll kind of sign off with that. I think that we've kind of gone through everything, and obviously you guys have done the homework and for your fuels and doing all sorts of percentages for every nitro vehicle that's out there.
Oh, and by the way, we got aviation fuel and marine fuel coming. That's exactly what we're testing as we speak as well. So like I said, constantly testing and coming out with that at a later date. So
you've got the entire gambit.
Yes.
So they'll be able to find it out on tnrfuels.com.
Yes, sir.
And be able to pre-order there as well as get signed up for this next cool event. It looks like everybody's kind of saying TNR Fuels for the win. Great job. So everybody's loving it.
Okay, and again, I did it again. I was saving the best for last. Dave, Coyote Dave. Oh, Coyote Hobbies, guys. Us guys up here in the high desert, I'm forgetting my own local track, which is like right down the street. So, guys, Coyote Hobbies will have a ton of it up here. Okay, so Mona and Dave will be stocking it. Please, all my, like, it's so awesome. The electric side, so many of the electric guys are getting into nitro. Davey Bada, Sammy the Killer, Gary Dykes, all these guys getting into nitro, and they're wanting to buy our fill up here. So, guys, soon Dave will have plenty of stock for you guys, man. So, and I saw one of the messages on there. Someone was saying about how does it compare to VP and Nitrotane and Flashpoint. Again, guys, different feels for different people. We all know, like, VP's going through their situation. Byron's went through theirs. So not here to down talk any other fills because, again, all these fills perform at a level of what they're, what that individual needs it for. We just decided to come up with our own fill to fulfill our needs and hopefully for other racers as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to thank every single one of you guys that's tuned in, that's supported us, that's, from start to finish asking when our fill is coming out. My buddies I race with, I want to thank all you guys for the support, man. It means the world to me. I love you guys, and I guess that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you guys, and I guess we'll sign off. So is this flyer and everything, it's going to be up there on the website here soon enough? I know you
I
just
believe
got
it is. I don't
done.
know, but I think it is on the website. My wife said it's on there, so I think we're good to go.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for everybody tuning in out there in Facebook, and this will be live, so Chris will be able to reply to anything that's out there. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely hit us up, and we'll get you those answers right along. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Stefan and Steven. And we're good to go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.